Good evening, class. My name's Robert Ross, and we're going to be talking about the social judgment involvement theory. Now, let's say person A suffered through a life threatening car accident in an exotic sports car. How do you think they would feel about your persuasive message about the top 10 compelling reasons to buy a Ferrari? Now, let's take person B. Assume that they had a lifetime of positive experiences with exotic sports cars. Perhaps they remember fixing them in their dad's auto body shop when they were a kid. And they might even have some nostalgic memories of driving a Porsche to their high school prom. Now, how would person B react to the same persuasive message? This is the main question. Would person A and person B react the same or differently to this same message? Now, the social judgment involvement theory answers these questions. And today, I will define for you the social judgment involvement theory, and also I'll explain a personal communication situation in which I applied this theory. Now, according to encyclopedia.com, social judgment involvement theory attempts to explain how attitudes are expressed, judged, and modified. And it details how attitudes are cognitively represented, the psychological processes involved in assessing persuasive communications, and the conditions under which communicated attitudes are either accepted or rejected. Also, there's another definition by study.com, an article that was done by June Wei Lone. And according to this definition, social judgment involvement theory is a theory that suggests an individual's position on an issue is determined by three factors: their anchor, alternatives, and ego involvement. Both of these sources touch on other key components of the social judgment involvement theory, such as the anchor, the latitudinal message judgment scale, the latitude which includes the latitude of acceptance, latitude of non-commitment, and the latitude of rejection. Also, ego involvement, which is basically how much a message recipient cares about the message. And also the perceptual errors of assimilation and contrast, as well as the most ideal message position for maximizing persuasion. So last year, a younger cousin of mine approached me with some questions about college. Now, she was about, I'd say, a +3 on the latitudinal message judgment scale. Her name is Asia. Now, she was pro-college because she's smart, very high intellectual capacity. She enjoys learning, and also several of our family members have experienced great success from getting a college degree. But I'd say she was more in opposition to college, even though she saw some reasons, to go. She opposed college because she's kind of afraid of the hard work that goes into getting a bachelor's degree. Also, she suffered through social problems in high school, fitting in, and she believed that she didn't need a college degree to achieve financial success. Several of her friends who were also interested in her career path, which is fashion, entrepreneurship, and design, have achieved a lot of success without a college degree. So this made Asia think that the degree is not really that necessary. So Her involvement level, it's kind of strong, somewhat strong, and that's because Asia's mother, who she loves and respects dearly, um, has a strong value for education. And of course, Asia values her mother's opinion. The second reason Asia's involvement level was kind of strong is because she looks up to her older brother, and he did quite well after obtaining his college degree. Um, so, considering Asia's moderate level of involvement, she was pretty receptive to my message. Now, in order to get her latitude of acceptance from a 3 to a 9 or a 10 and persuade her to give college a shot, I crafted a persuasive message that was focused on the two things she cared about most: her mother's opinion and also her love of fashion. Um, I pointed out to her that a college degree would greatly increase her chances of succeeding in fashion for two main reasons: core business knowledge and network development. Now, regarding the first reason, I told her that she would gain the business knowledge necessary to be a smart, successful business owner, and that this would give her an edge above her competitors, many of which have an enormous amount of artistic talent but lack in the area of business knowledge. And I also told her that she would be able to meet a lot of people through her path in college that would help her with fashion entrepreneurship. Um, I told her about internships, mentorships, job placement opportunities, and how these could help her reach a higher level of success in fashion, and that these things would give her job opportunities that otherwise would be unavailable. Also, I asked her a series of questions. I said, well, you want to own a fashion company. How are you going to get the money to start it? How are you going to figure out who to hire, who to not hire? How are you going to keep track of your sales, earnings, and expenses? And how are you going to promote and market your product? Now, as I expected, she was unable to answer these questions. And that's when I told her a bachelor's degree will teach you all of this and more. And she found this point quite salient and persuasive. And next, I went into a discussion about her mother. I asked her, how would you feel if you looked out into the crowd on graduation day and you saw your mother crying tears of joy? And this made her go into a few statements of nostalgia. She talked about how her mom used to help her do homework, how her mom would take her to tutoring, and she discussed the incredible time and effort her mother invested in work so she could afford to send her to private school. And looking back on it, thinking about Asia's body language and the tone of her voice, I think this part of my message was the most persuasive. Now, a couple of months passed. Asia gave me a call. She told me that she had decided to enroll in college. She also said that her mother and her brother were extremely proud, and her brother even promised to be her first investor if she secures her bachelor's degree. So she already knows where her first bit of money for her company is coming from, right from the family, as long as she gets her degree. Now, a fact of persuasion is that it doesn't always result in the persuader getting their desired outcome. In this case, it did, and I'm very grateful. And judging by the recent conversations I've had with Asia's mother and her brother, they too are grateful. In summary, being well informed on my cousin's pre-existing attitude surrounding college enabled me to craft an effective, persuasive message, one that was customized to both her pro and con views regarding college. So the message here, the main lesson, it's very simple. Before you compose and deliver a persuasive message, be armed with knowledge about your audience's anchor and involvement level, the two core components.